Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is my first impressions look of the Nike Mamba Fury. So this is Kobe Bryant's takedown model, and the predecessor to this shoe was the Mamba Focus. I did not like that shoe really at all for performance, and they basically kept the same exact midsole and cushioning setup and outsole, which is kind of disappointing because that is literally the exact thing that I didn't like about the Mamba Focus. So I don't know if I'll like this shoe really at all. This shoe is going for $100. If you guys do want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. And I hope this is not the last shoe that we'll get from Kobe Bryant, like his line from Nike. Like for me, I want his line to keep going as far as like he designed the shoe, you know what I'm saying? And I believe he said he had like 1 or 2 shoes already kind of like designed, but we'll have to see on that. But let's get started off with the traction. So they're using a snake skin type of pattern. I feel like that's what they're going for. And the rubber is super hard. There is a cool little texture to it. And I also really like how it's like kind of yin and yang, you know, like black and white. And there is a Kobe shield or the Kobe logo here in the heel. And there is an outline of the zoom unit in the forefoot. The traction was horrible for me. Like when I played with the Mamba Focus, I'm guessing they kept the rubber compound the exact same. It just didn't have a good bite. And this feels exactly the same as the Mamba Focus to me. But the durability seems really good. And of course I'm gonna be playing with this shoe outdoors a lot. So that's one category I feel like it's gonna be okay in. But then on the indoor court, I don't think it's gonna be good. Like even on a clean court, it didn't have that good of a bite for me personally. One thing I do like about it though is that it has a little bit of an outsole curvature. Like if you look at it, there's a nice subtle curve, and the rubber does come up here into the forefoot, so you have a little bit more grip when you're doing these types of movements. And as far as the heel to toe transition goes, it's very smooth. It feels like you have a nice curve shape here in the heel. It's pretty shallow though. It's usually not like this. It's usually a little bit sharper of a curve, but you know, that's still not bad. And then in the forefoot you have a nice curve shape, and you have a lot of forefoot flex. So heel to toe transition seems smooth. As far as the cushioning goes, yeah, nah, I don't really like it. They're using a very stiff Phylon, and they're caging it up like crazy in the forefoot. Like you look at all this rubber, you know what I'm saying? There's really no heel compression. It feels like a rock. But one good thing is though, it's very low to the ground. Court feel feels really good. There is a forefoot zoom unit, like I mentioned. You can see the shape of it. It's just a thin rectangle. Like when you put on the shoe, you can feel like a bump, or it kind of like bulges up here in the forefoot. And you would think that would help you to feel the zoom unit, but nah, not really. Like I can't feel the zoom unit really at all, and it doesn't feel anything like, you know, the Westbrook one take. I could feel that really well. Same with the Converse G4. So I'm guessing it's bottom loaded, right? So it usually, if it's like this, you can see the outline here in the forefoot. It's usually bottom loaded. So yeah, cushioning doesn't feel nice really at all. I don't think impact protection is going to be good either. So I'm not very excited to play with this on an outdoor court. As far as the materials go, I like the pattern on it. It kind of, they were going for like a snake skin pattern, I feel like, with this textile material. I mean, it's not a bad material. It's soft but stiff. You know, like bear with me. Like if you press the material down with your finger, it just like stays there. I feel like once I break it in, it'll get a little bit softer. But then like it's soft in the point of like it's a textile. You know what I'm saying? So it like conforms to your foot very well, but then like it just feels a little stiffer than I would like as far as the textile material goes. And then here in the forefoot, more on the medial side, you have fuse for more durability if you do toe drags. And then here in the ankle area, it's more just like a mesh material. And then in the heel, you have a really crappy suede material, and there's a Kobe shield. And you have this heel thing. It's like a rubberized plastic, and I like it. And this is a pretty cool detail. You know, it's DNA. You can see a snake, so it's like snake DNA. So I guess black mamba DNA. I don't really know. And then on the inside, you have like this texture, which is more like a snake skin type of texture. But it really kind of doesn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of useless, but I like the little detail, I guess, on it. In the ankle area, there is a good amount of padding, especially on top of this Achilles heel tab. That feels nice on the Achilles, makes the shoe easy to put on as well. The tongue is okay. Like on the bottom of the tongue is a mesh material, which will help with ventilation. And then on top, you have a Kobe shield. And then in the middle, it's like a gel padding. It feels really nice, but then around it, it's super thin. It's paper thin. And then the tongue is basically a half booty construction, and it gives you a better overall one-to-one fit, and it keeps the tongue in place. So the overall materials for a $100 shoe is pretty damn nice, I guess, besides this suede overlay material. And also here in the midfoot, you have like this fly wire, and this fly wire like goes all the way down into the upper, so it's legit. It's not like one of those fly wires that's like stitched to the upper and it's just like right here, you know? But the laces do go through the upper. So I guess if you want the fly wire to tighten on your foot a little bit more, you can put the laces only through the fly wire if you want to. Alright, as far as the fit goes, it runs a tiny bit long to me, but then it's super narrow and very tight in the toe box area, which I like. So I mean, if you have a very narrow foot, I would suggest going down half a size if you want a super snug fit. But other than that, I would suggest going true to size. If you have a wide foot or you like a roomier fit, I would suggest probably not getting the shoe, or maybe going up a full size, because that's how snug and narrow the shoe is. Alright, as far as the support goes, obviously I don't know, but there is a lateral counter here. Like, so here in the forefoot as well as in the midfoot area, you have this plastic swoosh acting as a lateral cage, as well as this rubber outsole. And there is an internal TPU heel counter, it feels like. It feels like a really thin one. And as you guys can see, this outrigger is super sharp. I feel like you can cut someone with it, you know what I'm saying? So that'll definitely help with lateral stability. So I feel like support and lockdown is not going to be an issue in this shoe. As far as the weight goes, this shoe is probably going to be very light. It has that like cheap light feel, you know? I'm guessing it's going to be like 11 ounces, 10 ounces maybe? 10.65 ounces. That's super light. Very minimal shoe. You feel low to the ground, and you would probably feel very quick in the shoe if the traction was good. I'm just speaking from experience from the Mamba Focus. But anyways, there's that. Moving on to the aesthetics, I love the way this shoe looks. I feel like the Mamba Focus looked a little bit cleaner to me. And there was a lot of dope colorways of the Mamba Focus. I don't really like this part, like this little pattern here with like this rubberized texture to it. But other than that, I love this swoosh placement. I think it looks really cool, and I think it's pretty damn creative. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. But as far as my first impressions go, it's $100, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, there are shoes like the KT Splash 2, which is $83, and you're getting a knit material with a really nice cushion setup. $10 more than this, you get the KT5 Low, which you get a full-on knit upper. You have that stretchy knit collar, and you have a really nice cushioning setup as well. So I mean, like, comparing to those, it's not very nice, like, at all. But there are things I do like about the shoe, like the aesthetics. I like how minimal and thin the upper is, and I feel like it's gonna break in pretty nicely. I really like the fit as well. I just wish it was a little bit shorter, and that's about it. Like, the cushioning is not very nice, and the traction is just, from my experience, wasn't very nice. So knowing about those shoes and comparing it to like those, like the KTs, it's a little bit hard to recommend as far as like my first impressions go. It's not a full performance review. But anyways, that about wraps it up for this video. Again, if you guys want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.